Welcome back! This is episode 12 of Greatest Let's Play Modded Minecraft series. 12! It is a new day, and there's a bit of gap between episodes. Wow, that's a lot of chickens. Yeah. All those hats. It's a new day in Minecraft, and I have been working on a new building. But before we go there, I want to show you this. Because if we look at our to-do list, today is blood magic armor. New armor. Which means we need to make it, and it's about to go down. It's about to go nighttime. Of course it is, just as I start actually recording. Now, blood magic armor is, well, it's pretty overpowered. It's certainly more overpowered than the default stuff you'll get in the game. You know, the iron armor, the gold armor, the diamond armor, that kind of stuff. Instead of you taking damage, the damage is going to be taken from your life point network. So if you have life points, I have 86,000, which should be going up fairly soon. It's going to take it from that instead of from me, which is good, because at the moment I'm wearing iron armor still, which is atrocious. In order to make that, though, we need a crafting grid, and this is how you make a crafting grid for blood magic armor. In here we've got some ingredients. 4 parts to armor, obviously. Boots, leggings, chest piece, and helm. We're going to start with the boots first, but before that we need to make the forge, which is how we make all this to start with. It's kind of like a central block. So, nope, not you. I remember it. I usually get the order the wrong way around. Oh, there we go. Soul Armor Forge. For the moment, we're going to put it right about here. Now, let's grab you. So if we're making a pair of boots, this is the recipe that we'd make in any crafting grid, right? And we can go ahead and we can make that. Right click this soul forge and it'll give me a pair of boots. But that's just going to protect me. I also want some upgrades. That's what this is all about. You can just drop a sigil onto the boots. Right click and away you go. But let me just put this back in just to make sure it's not confused by anything. But if you do that, it's still going to actually have a cost. It's still going to take the effect of the air sigil away from your life point network. And also, pretty much every sigil that you have, you can apply to armor to give you a different benefit. Now, there is a full table on the wiki, but save you the trouble. Air sigils, definitely one of the ones you're going to want. Air sigil, without armor, obviously makes you fly through the air. With armor, it stops falling damage. In order to make that to no cost, what we need is a weak blood shard and a master orb. So first of all, I think we're just going to apply the blood shard. Gone. And the sigil. And press the wrong thing. Well, I guess that gives me a reason to show you another one of the rituals. This time, the ritual is going to be called the ritual of unbinding rather than binding. So, assuming I actually get this right, I may have to move it again. But there we go, ritual of unbinding. We're going to put it down about here. Good. Now let's just get rid of these light blocks just in case. And let's see if you're going to work. There we go. Now obviously this is actually one above that one. I didn't know how far it was going to go down, so later on I'll take this apart and put it back together. But for now, if we want to create this, if we've made a mistake, we should be able to do that using the ritual of unbinding, assuming I get this right. Take your magnet off. That would help. You've got to activate it as well. Whoops. Got that last time. And if we check how much we got in our network, it was about 80 odd thousand, was it? Rush of energy flows through the ritual. That's why it's useful to have this. Ow! I got my blood shard back. Where's the rest? Sigil. I should have more than that back. Ah, those sockets are amazingly expensive. Maybe you don't get the sockets back then. Ah, well, okay. So that demonstration was horrible. Let's try this without the demonstration. So, let's take some of, in fact, wait for the helm, because that's fine. So, weak blood shard. And air sigil. And master blood orb. That should have gone in. Was that my master blood orb? It was. Anyway, we're about to find out. If I get this wrong, there's more sockets for me to make. Right click the middle, and I get a pair of bound boots. Now, if you see in this case, if it was correct anyway, we've got the blood shard, the air sigil, and the master blood orb. So if we do that, and I grab this, I'm on 56,000. So if I change my air sigil, nothing. And I'm 55,999, but that was from the air sigil use. 50 LP for the air sigil use. So completely free use of the bound boots. If I'd stuck with the ones that I made before, by right clicking without all the components in there, they would have just they would have taken that damage from my life point network. They wouldn't have stopped the damage at all. Well, the damage wouldn't have been negated, put it that way. So that's that. What I have to do is then go and craft the rest. So I'm going to leave the helm, but I've obviously taken those extra sockets that I can make back up. In fact, have I shown you how to make the sockets? Basically, you make them like this. And these, obviously, we showed you in the last episode. And then you put this into your blood altar, and you get a filled socket back. And it takes 30,000 life points to do. So let's proceed. We want the leggings. And actually, I want you back. Be that. Another blood shard, which can go on that one. Sigil of the fast miner. This one, by the way, gives you haste on your armor. And then let me just put mine in there, just so that I don't get a weird effect. And they're all actually tied to me, by the way. You have to, tie them to yourself first before you put them. Put that there, right click, boom, I get a pair of leggings. Leggings, I have Sigil of Fast Miner, so this should give me haste. Pretty much permanent haste. In fact, let's test it. Say there, haste 2. So let's test this by, may not be evident with this because I'm already at the fastest speed. Now what the hey, let's give it a try. So that's me just clicking. See if I get any farther with this. Yeah. That's permanent, and it's also cost-free. If it weren't cost-free right now, because it's permanently on, my life point network will be going down. As you can see, there's also this particle effect around me. Let's see if I look somewhat like a samurai. You see the faint particles, I think. Just about. Okay, that's that one. Lava sigil. This is the good one. So first of all, I want this back again. Gimme. I've had too much caffeine today. Goes up here. That's what 5 cans of Red Bull will do to you. Chest piece. Now the large lava sigil is fire resist, so no more worrying about the nether. Not sure if it's going to be complete immunity to fire, but I will give it a try a little bit later. Let's grab the components first. 1, 2, 3. Weak blood shard. Lava sigil. Master blood orb. Doesn't really matter which one of these you actually put it in. And then just click. Boom. Fire resist. Looking very plate-like. Obviously, I'm still wearing an iron helmet. Now, the reason why I left the iron helmet alone, water sigil is the one I'm going to put on it, which gives you underwater breathing, by the way, is because I want something else in the bound helmet. There's something else is Goggles of Revealing, and Goggles of Revealing are part of Thorncraft, which is a different magic mod. It's also in the pack, but it's different. In order to do that, we have to get started into Thorncraft. So on camera, I'm going to just leave the helm alone, but it's going to be exactly the same. And when I get Goggles of Revealing, we're going to make, first of all, Sanguine helmet. This. In fact, I need to go and figure out what the recipe is for that. Yeah, because first we need a Sanguine helmet made with the recipe. I've not looked it up just yet. And then we make the bound armor with the Sanguine helmet. Yeah, another one here. So we'll use the blood shard, the sigil, the orb just like normal, and the Sanguine helmet, which doesn't use up a slot. And you end up with a helm, also with Goggles Revealing built in. Now, in fact, I think I can just put you there. Obviously, we'll make the shape around it that way. So, we've got some armor, and it's pretty good armor. I wonder if I can test the lava side of things. I will find some lava to jump in before the end of the episode. Before I do that, however, I'm going to head over in bat form, because I want to show you where my final blood altar, one of those, is going to be hosted. The final one I want to refill into my network automatically, and lots of it. So I've been building this. It took a while. It wasn't built using creative. This is all resources that I've mined out myself or stolen from these trees. And in fact, these fir trees are great. Hit them with a lumber axe, all this wood. It's like stacks and stacks of wood. Makes carpentry blocks, which makes carpentry slopes. Which are those blocks right there. I've not finished them, so you can have a look. Yeah, and that's a skeleton. Who can't hit me? Come on, skeleton. Let's change back. This altar is tier 4. Can't get to tier 5 yet, which is where these spaces are. Just because there's another limit for us. I'll come on to that probably in an episode or two. But this is the tier 4, just like the ones back at my normal base. We have a structure for it. And below the structure, in fact you can see it's hollow, by the way, this place. Not I didn't build the entire pyramid solid block by block. That would have taken a long time. Below it, I've just got this structure. Below this, I've got a room. And this design was kindly on Imager/Reddit Feed the Beast. It's going to be a witch room, or a witch spawner. In here, in the center, we're going to have a spawner, which is FR, so spawner. Here we are, auto spawner. So I'm going to need to make this, which will start to spawn witches for us. Why witches, you might understand, or which witch, and why witch? Because witches heal themselves, and there is another ritual that you can make. In fact, we're going to have to make two rituals. One for here, and another one you could make with the normal mobs that fits inside the first one, called Ritual of Regeneration. A ritual that takes stuff from the mods and adds it to your blood altar is called the Well of Suffering. If instead of sacrifice runes we use self-sacrifice runes, i.e. you want this to be something you do to yourself, you will want, I think, the Ritual of the Feathered Knife. I think that's what it's called. But I don't. I particularly want to set this going. I want to chunk load it, and I want to leave it alone. And it's just a big, imposing structure. So, to make that, first of all, you need to capture a witch. Now, I've already done that off camera, but ideally, you're going to create a name tag. It's just some string and a piece of slime. Rename the name tag in a an anvil, which will give you, call it whatever you want, really, Blood Witch. Hit the Blood Witch with it, and then capture it using a safari net. A safari net, yeah, get again is more string. Doesn't particularly matter which safari net you use. Yeah, string and leather, and a bit of slime. Capture your witch, and you end up with one of these. This fits inside that auto spawner. So let's go and make the auto spawner first. So some magma cream, some emeralds, some plastic sheets. Okay, so do I have enough plastic? I do. I should have enough emeralds. One of those is easy to make, so a couple of you. Machine frame is going to be a tin gear and some iron, so I want 5 iron, 4 tin, and that's going to be some glass as well for it. Want 1 piece of netherwort, 4 glass. There's something missing still, but that's okay. There's the magma cream. There we go. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Oops, turn that out first. Magma cream, 2 of. One auto spawner. Straightforward. We're also going to need a power source for it, but we're not going to need it for too long. So my idea here was to use something like leadstone blocks, I think. Yeah, that should do it. Block of redstone, some lead, so I need 8 lead and I want to make 2 of them, and some redstone blocks. Electrum. Do I have... Of course, I've only got 1 electrum. That is just about right. So... just alloy these. I hope so. If we were using thermal expansion, that would have been a bit harder. Thankfully, we're not. In fact, it may not have been. No, I think you can actually use them and get ingots with that as well. It's fine. And we're going to need like 6 copper. Okay, 2 of these. Now to charge them, I'm just going to use the chicken power. I think. Could use other things, but chicken power is good. From the right, that should be charging. From the left, that will also be charging. Fine. So now all I need to do is wait for these to be charged. Okay, so these should be charged up at least enough for our purposes. Yep. One of them's full, one of them's halfway, but that's fine. We're not going to need it permanently charging. And I've got one of my sockets back filled. I just need to fill some more, but that can wait while we do this. Okay, we've got 55k in our network. The important thing is for the Well of Suffering, you're going to need 50k to activate it. It's quite expensive for this stage. There are rituals that take up to like 2 million LP to activate. So yeah, this isn't the be all and end all by any means. There we go. So that's where I want my ritual stone. I think it creates stones 2 up from it and 2 down from it, which means I could make it a bit higher. It depends really if it fits inside this line. May do, may not, but it should do where it is at the moment. In addition, I've also gone down here, created a little tunnel underneath, just to do. Oh, I didn't bring a lever with me to go and hit a tree when I do this, but fine. Let's put the auto spawner down first, and let's you. The witch is going to throw stuff, so I'm going to probably have to seal this in. But before I get started, I want to set spawn exact copy to yes, and not sure if I'm going to need a redstone signal or not. Let's put these on first. So energy. Yeah, so we're going to stay there. Come back to you. Now with this ritual, there's lots of these. Let's see if I... There we go, Well of Suffering. And... top of this thing. I have to do it from below, I suppose, but... as well. And you're going to need, excuse me, you're going to need 36 ritual stones. So that is a lot more compact than I was expecting. Okay. So yeah, that really would have fit quite a far up. I thought it was going to create things 4 outwards. Anyway, that's fine. It's all within range. It's quite a large range. So if this was a feathered knife, I'd be taking damage right now, and it takes you down to about 2.5, 3 hearts, something like that. But because we've got mobs, or we're going to have mobs below us, it's not quite going to be that expensive. Now what I'm going to do is just grab some glass for the section below and a lever, and we'll see how well it does. In fact, yeah, let me go do that, and I'll come right back. So let's give this a try. Step 1, want me to put my blood orb in the altar. And as you notice, everything is sacrifice runes here. I haven't bothered with anything else. There's no need. Oh, there shouldn't be any need, I don't think. Step 2, we're going to activate the ritual. And this is going to take 50,000 LP. If I got it right, it needs more than that. Let me check. And that's what I get for not checking. I forgot to upgrade this. This, unfortunately, it needs 4 dusk stones, as you can see there. Unfortunately, I can't place dusk stones, which is why it's not bigger, because it ran out of, well, it couldn't place some of the things. So we need to upgrade this. So let's just look at the upgrade. Can place this runes, there we go. So we're going to want 2 of the demonic slates, which are the upper tier slates. 2 of the elemental inscription tools, which is very, very cheap to make, just blocks of coal. So let's head back over there, then we should be able to place these down. So I wanted to kill up me Enderman. They're so annoying early game. But once you get decent armor, and this is more than decent armor, yeah, they are fodder for the sword. So we're going to want 2 blocks of coal. One, 2. But we also want the other part, which is a bit more expensive. 15,000 for these, plus 8 for the previous tier. So for going up to tier 3, this is tier 4, so 23, 46 for 2. I should have enough. But just while we're here, try to stop the chicken infestation. As you can see, far, far more raw chicken than I can actually use. Should nearly be done. One. And we're just going to wait for the other one. By the way, once we've got that up and running, I'm probably going to take this whole contraption apart. I could still use it, but to be honest, I can just replace those with self-sacrifice. If I need to craft something, make it myself. Not quite decided yet. I'll have to have a look at the tier 5 stuff to see just how much blood is actually needed in one of these altars as opposed to life network stuff. I've taken down the ritual over there. Just a brief note, this is the binding one. You'll see it builds 4 out from it. The unbinding builds 5 out. So I'm not sure if they're intended to fit in the same block space. It's possible that they could be. I need to check that, because that'd be quite cool if they did. Just be sensitive to whatever you throw in there. So there we got those 2. And we just need to craft them together, which is this cake. That way around. Nope. That way around. Yep. And well of suffering. There we go. So back out we go. I do like the look of this thing. Tell me what you guys think. Share it. See if anyone just says, man, it's just a pyramid. These take an awful long time. By the way, this is only like about half the scale of the Great Pyramid in Egypt. I once created a 1-to-1 scale thing. That took a long time. By comparison, a very, very long time. It's like 128 meters across the base, so it's huge. Alright, let's give this a try again. Hold down right click. There we go. Yeah, that's more like it. Those are the disc runes. Activation crystal. And again, this should now work. Rush of energy. Black circle and almost no life points left. So again, if I were a mob right now, I should be taking damage. I'm not, thankfully. Although I think I heard some... No, it's not taking damage from any mobs inside the pyramid. So that is also fine. It's just so I can get back up. I want a lever. Weird lighting effect, but okay. And before I go any further, best fill this in. Hopefully witches can't take down clear glass. They will. There is alternatives, toughen glass, so I'll just wall them in entirely, but I kind of like to see them. Exact design I had a look at for this kind of thing. Use wireless redstone to turn things on and off, but I'm not too worried about wireless stuff because this isn't going to be on permanently. It's just for when we're setting things up, and the witches should regenerate themselves just fine. So if we put this in here, why aren't you accepting things? Yeah, when I said any Safari net, not the single-use one. Right, what's the recipe for the non-single-use one? Stands to reason, obviously, if it says single-use. Safari net. Reusable. 4 ender pearls and a gas tier. Normally that would be expensive, but for me, not so much. Now I've been to the end anyway. Which reminds me, as I cross this expanse, I need to show you a better way of getting around places. And I do have that coming up. That was another thing I need to go for the end for. I needed the ender pearls to do it. Mob drops also on gas tier. Alright, let's hope I can release the witch and grab the witch again. Ah! She almost got free. It was terrible, but we got over it. If you ever have had a witch chasing you while throwing potions at your feet, making you disease, poison, whatever it is, you get over it pretty quick too. So just while I do this, while I move around, the thing we're going to use to get around are called travel anchors. Now, I did see this on Direwolf's playlist, sorry, on his Let's Play, but I'd always assumed they were associated with Staff of Travelling, which is another higher tier item that you have to make. It uses up RF and lets you travel to these travel anchors. But no, you can use them on their own, which is much better because they're like elevator blocks, if you've used those from open blocks, I think it is. Elevator. Elevator. Yeah, open blocks. They just go up and down. That's just one ender pill and some wool. But travel anchors can go any direction. I just need some conduit binder, some iron, and this diamond, which is fine, but this stuff needs ender pearls and iron. So until I got a source of ender pearls, I didn't want to go ahead with those. They were far too valuable. But now they're not. So, yes, where was I? So now I should be able to put this in here. Back out of the room slowly, more quickly. And that's sealed. And let's flip the lever and see what happens. I configured. Oh, I've not configured those. You do have to configure your these output to the bottom should be configured, and so should that. To configure this, fine. Maybe I should have to wait a bit. Assuming I don't have to apply a redstone signal off the block itself. We'll see shortly. Of course, the other thing I would forget is the mob essence it needs to run. So I'm just going to make a grinder, and if it lets me, this should let me get mob essence, and from there should let me transfer that. I'm going to use my chicken farm. They are going to be useful for some things, so let's just get a portable tank. Yeah, not many life points left, so I want to be a bit careful. Grinder, I'm going to need some power and some output, so I want a chest of some kind. Temporary thing, really, and some fluid conduit, maybe. Yeah, let's see how this goes. So, grinder. There. I'll put a chest on the back. And I'm going to put a tank on the top of it, I think. Should work. And I'm going to need some power, so a few options for that. I could just run some conduit. Do I have the energy conduit spare? If not, I'll just move things. Yeah, lots of it. You will do just fine. Which one's the front? So I want output to the back. Wow, this is ugly cabling, but... Okay, so it examines an area in front of it, and you can hear them dying right now. And it's filling, well, I'm trying to fill it with essence, but it should be outputting into here, which it is. So all those chickens, it won't kill baby animals, but any normal animals it will, and any mob drops it should output to the back, which it is as well. Now I shouldn't need too much essence, so that's like 3 buckets. Do I have another lever? Want to disable it just temporarily? No, I didn't make any. Fine. Stick. Bet. Yeah, I've got my digger's backpack open. That's why. There we go. So on state seems to turn the thing off, which is fine. Let's see what we can do with this. Hopefully the last time I have to make the trip out of here, or at least on camera anyway. Got the travel anchors in place. One final thing about travel anchors, I was going to put one there by the way, is they have a range. I think that's at a range, so I might have to go through 2 to get out there, so it's not too much of an issue. Yep. So first is my lever on, so this thing is off. There we go. And how am I going to route fluid in there? Well, I could put it on top. That'd work. Output mode. It's full. And I do actually, if I'm going to output it to the top, what I may do is, just in case, conduit. Oh, what, really? I'm terrible at lining it up. Oh, that is terrible. Yeah, and then I will put the things either side. So you output to the right, you output to the left, and I'm going to get out of here. Now, are you going to work? Let me just put that tank on top. Are you outputting, or are you not connecting? In fact, it's on input mode, so that might help. Yeah, it's connected. Good. Yeah, see the green? Okay, let's try again. Not impressed so far. Maybe there's not enough... Should be enough mob essence to get going. Ah, it is drawing out, so it is doing something. And the power is being pulled out of those. So let's give it a minute or two and see what happens. And just as I stopped recording, the first witch appeared, which is just about typical. There goes the first witch, and as you can see, it's going. Let's see if my life network is going up. Where's my thingy? It is. Look at that. I'm not doing anything, and my life network is going up. The Enderman should have not spawned in here. Sorry, guy, you're not regenerating, and you're not teleporting away, so you're going to get sacrificed. and my life points are still going up. But as you can see, that uses up an awful lot of power. So I think between the episodes, what I'm going to do is go and make a higher tier of energy cell, fill it up, come over here and get this room nearly full of these witches. See, there's 2. So that should speed it up. But I want this coming in really quite fast because we're going to want millions of LP, not just, you know, changes like this is like 40 LP. Yeah, not enough. Not by any means. But, end of poll. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this episode. We've got a working farm. We just need a bit more power and a bit more mob essence, which I'm happy to get. I could just put a cap on here for temporarily. Don't mind them. Sealed in. And my orb is getting rained on. Yeah, I need to fix that roof. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I am going to make a travel anchor, which I will do between the episodes. I'll show it to you at the start of the next episode. It really is very, very simple to use. But for now, we've got recharging blood magic. No more effort, no more killing chickens. I actually need to go over there and kill those chickens permanently to get rid of them and to fill this up with life essence and then another battery, a energy cell. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more episodes like this, please feel free to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and we'll see you next episode.